evening and welcome to Division 4 in SFR again. It's Monday night, it's 7:30 and it is qualifying for Silverstone. We are here in, well, where the season started in the city of, well, Mexico City of course, and the suburbs and the street and just everything around it full of life, to the countryside of the UK. From the sunny streets of Mexico to a bit of a cloudy day here in Silverstone. It's going to be an exciting race and an exciting end to the championship and a good send-off for Division 4 from the F1 24 game. With the championship more or less wrapped up, Billy G just has to finish the race due to the Vickers' absence from tonight, which was unlucky. It was an 8-point gap heading into today's race. He needs 9 points, which he is guaranteed if he finishes in P12 or above. So he just needs to finish the race effectively. And Silverstone, it was the first F1 race back in 1950. It's been many iterations since then. New grandstands, new straights, new corners. Along with that, the Wellington Straight added in 2011 after they changed the old pit straight, where down the new pit straight you go, instead of going right, you went left and through, and you cut off that entire first section of Aintree Loop and that entire fiddly section. And coming through Stowe Club now is Silver Fox, who starts his first lap of the session into turn 1. Right-hander fast, flat, and just into a flat right, left quickly onto the brakes as soon as he gets straightened into the right-hander in the long left of loop now. You want to get on the power early enough, but you don't want to just slide out wide, which is a big issue there. And easy to invalidate. And down the Wellington Straight underneath the billboard where Lewis Hamilton had that tyre blowout in 2013. There's been a lot of tyre blowouts here. And onto the old pit straight through Luffield now. Cars used to bank off to the right to enter the pit lane, and they'd come out the right as well after Copse Corner, where in 2021 we had the massive accident between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton in that amazing year of Formula 1, where the title went right down to the final race, which it has done here. Won't be any title battle, which is a shame, but overall a great season to watch. Through down the Hanger Straight now, underneath the bridge, one of the widest parts of any Formula 1 track, in towards Stowe now. The fast right-hander, it's easy to an F1 car with the downforce, very easy to invalidate on the outside as well, up the hill and down a bit of a crest into the final 3 corners, the right, the left and the double right of Club and Vale, and to the line. It's a 28.9 for Silver Fox tonight to start off. For him, Readouts and Brass Monkeys slot in behind him for now, as Alex Haig goes to provisional pole with a 28.6. For now, Doran on a lap along with Billy G. Doran goes to P2, 28.7. Billy G not too far behind. His teammate has John Mose behind. Dom finishing a lap first goes to a 28.2 and jumps to the top of the time in tower. Billy G to the line now is going to finish his lap with a 28.1, and they're all getting faster and faster. That'll be due to maybe a bit of rising temperature on the track, as John Mobes goes faster than Dom and jumps to P2 on the road. Now, Dylan Vince just starting his first lap of the session as well, into turn 1. He goes right, left, and then slamming onto the brakes. And again, easy to lock up, easy to make a mistake, especially with the McLaren in your way, which he did have. Goes down into Brooklands, the long left into a long right onto the old pit straight. Woodcote next after Luffield into Copse Corner now. The V-Carb has a car in front of him. Looks like John Mobes in the Ferrari, easy to wash out and get an invalidation through this very fast corner, flat out. Copse Corner through Maggots and Beckett, and it's long, just sweeping corners. Chapel Corner next again with the car in front, washing out with the dirty air. Very easy to make a mistake. Getting a nice slipstream though is that V-Carb onto the grass, goes John Mose into Stowe. I break just a bit past the 50, late apex. And late and wide you want to go. Don't want to go too wide. Invalidation course over the crest and into club and veil the double right-hander. And that is a lap of Silverstone. Dylan Vince will go to P7 with that lap as well. As Preb hopping over the sausage curbs easy. That could be an interesting one in the race if anyone does indeed hit each other over them. It's coming through turn 3 now, Preb. McLaren looking to go on to provisional pole. Currently in P10 without a lap set, along with the two Williams in 11th and 12th. Through the long straight hanger, Wellington Straight, underneath the little bridge, and long two corners of Brooklands, Luffield and Woodcote now. Down the old pit straight, Preb goes, where he's currently on a half decent lap. Has cars in front of him, of course. Could be an issue in terms of dirty air, which Dylan Vince did have through these corners of Maggots and Beckett's. Some of the fastest corners in F1. Some of the most exciting high G corners in Formula 1 as well. As the sun starts to come out now, the track's going to heat up. Improved grip on the tyres. Faster lap times will start to come through. It's track evolution in general, of course, as well. You see that most in the wet. The later you get, the closer you get to those 0 seconds to start your lap in the wet, the quicker you will be. Unless it's a dry to wet session, of course. Here we go, Preb to the line, goes to P6, slotting in ahead of his teammates and just behind Doran. And speaking of Doran and the Aston Martin outfit, we'll look to the constructors now, as he does start his outlap through Luffield. Championship is in Billy G's hands. Vicker does lead them away by an 8-point gap, so 9 points needed for Billy G to win tonight, which he just needs to get P12 to collect it. Wakey Joe in the Red Bull as well on his first outlap of the session. P11, there's an Alpine off the track. Looks like Alex Haig going backwards. And Alex Haig from P4 is going to get disqualified. And he's going to be sitting on the racing line. That's an interesting one there for Alex Haig. He's down to P13 and he will start last no matter what the outcome of this session. Dom on a lap as well. He's just invalidated. However, Preb invalidated 1.9 down. Doran to start his lap. And the Aston Martin outfit are 18 points ahead of Ferrari tonight. So they need an 18 point. Well, they need to stay within 17 points of the Ferraris tonight, or the Ferrari tonight of John Mobes. So barring a double DNF again in the hands of the Aston Martins, and it could be an Aston Martin double for the first time since this man here, Doran, as well. He won the double in GP5. Division 5 was known GP5 at the time. In Season 9, my first ever season of commentary in SFR. It was a nice season for that one. Tim, Forever 24 JG with his first and only podium in SFR in the final round of Abu Dhabi on the 2021 game. Some fun times. The Bear winning the championship back then, with Karen and Rob winning the championship in Division 2, along with Laser winning Division 1 back then as well. If I'm not wrong, let me just go and double check that one actually. It was in 2022 at the time. It was SFR the Bear who won in Division 5, along with this man in the Constructors, Doran, still in the Aston Martin and still in SFR, unlike his old teammate, but he moves to where his old teammate used to be, and that is the top of the leaderboard for now. Dylan Vince with a lap to P5 as well. They're just coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Wakey Joe in P10 warming his tyres up. He's on the mediums on his outlap. Nate Creed coming through Maggots, Beckett's, and he'll come through Chapel now. You want to take a little bit of the grass on the outside as well. I've noticed a lot of cars do that in all categories. Dylan Division 4 at the time was won by Cabrina Khan as well. Just 3 years ago it would be now. RX Mamba, Karen Robb, and IFR Jensen was the Division 1 champion, ahead of Laser back in Season 9. And Night Creek comes to the line, and he's going to move up to P10, and he has disconnected just at the end of that session. He's lucky he got across the line to collect his lap there. As Smart Operator goes to P6 on a very nice lap by that Mercedes, and that's an improvement from him, which you always love to see, in a brilliant lap for that Williams there. Looking to end the 2024 game off with a bang. A lot of these drivers are looking to do that. Doran looking for his 3rd win of the season. Billy G looking for his championship. John Mobes looking for a win as well. This season, John Mobes has 1 win. Of course, it came just a couple rounds ago. It was in Miami. John Mobes absolutely dominated the race. He then followed it up with a 2nd in Vegas and what looked to be a 6th in the Netherlands just a week ago, where it was Dom to come across the line and win and take the P5 from John Mobes. Still chasing down Alex Haig for that P4. Doran more or less has P3 sewn up for now. There's a couple of cars on the lap. Preb is one of them. Silver Fox is another. He's coming through Luffield now onto the exit, onto the old pit straight with a nice Haas tow in front of him. Getting a nice little slipstream into the old turn 1 Cops corner. Going to get a big wash of dirty air, however, which could drag him out wide. It didn't drag him out wide, however. There is yellow flags with a Ferrari and McLaren on track. That might just be John Mobes letting someone through. Silver Fox through Chapel. Now gets Beckett's Chapel and DRS enabled down the Hanger Straight, 5/10 up on his lap time. Currently, that'll put him just ahead of Smart Operator in the Williams in P6 on the track for the race. 5 minutes to go in the final qualifying session of Division 4 this season. Coming through over the sausage curb, don't be touching them. Don't be touching them with the 20-foot pole. They'll launch your car, and it might give you underflow damage in this game. You never know. Up to P2 with a strong final sector for Silver Fox. He slots in behind Doran and makes an Aston Martin sandwich, and he is in an Aston Martin sandwich. Now Dom's starting his penultimate lap, as he should have enough time to come out and go back in. Preb, the other McLaren, looking for a strong final sector like his teammate did. He's going to slot in, he's going to go to P7 ahead of Operator in that Williams with 3/10, and it's a very close grid around here for now, which you'll love to see, really close grids. Looking up and down, Dom towards the end of his lap through Maggots and Beckett's. Now he's got Wakey Joe in front, actually, who's going to finish his lap 8 seconds down. Just looking to have a bit of fun by the looks of it. Dom slightly up on his time, 0.5 up for the Mercedes for now. Coming through Stowe. Will he dive into the pit lane? No. A bit on the grass there for the Mercedes after the win last week, where he apparently was ill. Well, he was ill, and it didn't matter for him anyway. He's moved to P3 now. Hopefully he's recovered from the illness and he's all feeling all right ahead of the final race and a lot of drivers' home races tonight. John Mobes 2.3 or 3.4 up on his lap at the minute. This is going to be a pole position lap, provisional pole position lap. This will be his final of the season, and the man who has the 2nd most poles in the division. A lot of qualifying pace on that Ferrari. He has 3 poles this season, 5 poles for Doran. And it's going to be John Mobes to pole position again with a brilliant final sector again. 3/10 improvement. That'll be through Stowe. Dom just slightly down on his lap for now. He doesn't seem to improve. Billy G just starting his lap. Champion-elect for now. Coming through turn 1, 2, 3. Farm and coming round the loop and into Aintree corner now, of course. Aintree, the famous horse racing track, held one F1 race back in the 50s. Not too sure who it was won by, but it was a long, long time ago in the city of Liverpool. Very nice city. And of course, horse racing is known around Aintree Racecourse. Every year, the Grand National and the Grand National Motorsport here. Billy G looking to collect the pole position once again. Maggots and Beckett's, this all sweeping corners. A little slightly wide. He's going to cut it through again, and DRS is going to be open. And you just see him pop out. You'll see him race down that track, 1.9 up through that middle sector. What can he pull out in the final sector, however? This could be a really quick lap from the Aston Martin. All clean. He has the Ferrari in front. The man he is looking to pull out ahead of in this qualifying session. We're dipping under a minute now in Silverstone, and it's going to be Billy G to go to P2 on the track. Doran going to start his final lap of the session and the season. Aston Martin 2 and 3, looking to make it a 1 and 3 for those two. Operator on a lap as well. Same for Brass Monkeys in the Williams and the Haas. Pair of them next to each other on the track as well. Brass Monkey, Smoth operator coming through now. He has Preb in front. 40 seconds and to get around and get the outlaps done. As he comes through, you can see the bottom of that car dragging against the ground. With how low it's running, 1/10 improvement for now. He might be able to pull it out in the final sector. We'll see if he can get ahead of Preb, who is just behind him on the track. I'll just let him through. Coming through Stowe. Long right. You can see how close and how much those cars bend and over the curb. Speaking of bending, the suspension bouncing a lot there. And through the final corner, Smoth operator goes with a loss of time in the final sector. He has Preb just across the line to make it. Doran slightly up on his time, looking to add a 6th pole position of the season. Has his teammates in front, not going to give him the tow. 2/10 improvement. He's trying to move ahead of his teammate, and he's got to get 3/10 extra on his current lap to go ahead of John Mobes. It's a 4/10 gap. He's got a 2/10 improvement. He'll need 2/10 in this final shortish sector. Just 5 corners through it. 1 straight, 2 straights, and 1 final corner. It's going to be Doran to pole position. Just about 1/10 ahead of John Mobes. What can Preb get across the line? Can he pull out a miraculous pole lap? What can Dylan Vince do as well? He's invalidated through. I believe it might have been Cops. He invalidated through. Preb nearly invalidated. He's right to the line. Right to the limit is that McLaren. His heads through Maggots, Beckett's, and finally Chapel. Onto the hanger straight. DRS opens before he even gets straight. Longer, 3/10 up. This could be into the top 5 here for the McLaren. McLaren 4 and 5 would be amazing to see. Maybe a 3-4. Won't be a 3-4. It would be a 4 and 5 at a maximum. Preb over the curb, and as well, that's going to lose him a bit of time. And he comes across the line, and it's going to be for Preb P4 ahead of his teammate. It's a McLaren 4-5, an Aston Martin 1 and 3, and that is a good start for Billy G to claim the championship. Doran looking to claim a 3rd constructors. I believe this will be for him in SFR. I'll have to pull the stats up on that one. So if anyone is new for SFR, I recommend have a Doran as your teammate. He seems to be lucky for a constructor, and it's done extremely well so far. Is the man in green, Doran, with a 6th pole position of the season. He's flying all year. Doran on pole, followed by John Mobes. Billy G in P3, Preb in P4, Silver Fox P5, Dom in P6, P7 is Readouts in that Haas, Dylan Vince P8, Smart Operator in P9, Brass Monkeys P10, Wakey Joe in P11, Nick Creed P12, Alex Haig is P13 after a disqualification after his second run, after driving backwards through cops. It's a sunny one here. This is going to be a nice sunny drive for a lot of these drivers just looking to come home for the championship. Hopefully we get amazing racing once again from Division 4. Very few safety cars, very few crashes from the drivers, and one of the safest and cleanest seasons I've ever seen in my SFR commentary. Pastoran leads them away into turn 1 for the final time this season. He'll want to keep it into turn 1. This time he's got John Mose behind him on the mediums, along with his teammate on the mediums as well. Silver Fox will be one to watch in the opening 5 or so laps on the softs, with Dom looking to be one to watch in the closing 5 laps, along with Readouts and Brass Monkeys on the hards in the Haas. Dylan Vince, the final medium runner, and the lowest medium runner in P8, P9, P11, P12, P13, or on the softs, with operator Wakey Joe, Nate Creed, and Alex Haig rounding off that grid. Alex Haig looking to take P4 home in the championship. Needs Doran to DNF and him to finish in the top 2 to collect the points needed to take home P3 in the championship, which is not far-fetched. We've seen it happen before this season, from lower positions, P16 to P3, I believe it was, P16 to P2 may have been for the Vicar earlier this season. He's had multiple good performances after collisions on the opening laps. Qatar, I can think of one of them. He was spun round. He's been very unlucky as the Vicar. A couple of drivers have been unlucky. Billy G had that off night in Canada, of course, as well. And for the final time, it'll be the Aston Martin on pole in Division 4 in the F1 24 game, along the forward-facing Silverstone, where of course we will have it a reverse track on the next year's game. I doubt SFR will be using the reverse layout, however that could cause a lot of confusion. And to the line, and lining up into that pole position for the 6th time, is SFR door on P2. John Mobes nailed the parking there. They're all lining up. Alex Haig slots in at the back. And it'll be Doran leading the way. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights are on in Silverstone. And we're green and away. And it's a good start for Doran. First time we've had a good view of it. John Mose with a good start as well. Billy G round the outside, can't get there. Though Preb and Dom with a good start on those hards. It looks like Smart Operators having a great start round the outside of Silver Fox. She's got the Mercedes up his inside. There's a Williams off the track. There's a Williams at the back. Wakey Joe down to P7. Contact there. Reads out Smart Operator Alex Haig and Dylan Vince to P13. After the spin through loop. Leading them into Luffield is the Aston Martin of Doran. Little lock-up, however, slightly wide. He's going to have to pull this gap out very quickly with the DRS and the power that is needed around this track. Billy G looking to get past John Mobes very quickly into Cop's corner. We've seen titles decided here. We could see another one decided now. As off the inside, no, he's going to have a look at it. He's not going to go for it. Here's Billy G, Preb, P4. This could be as Dom goes very wide, however, heavier fuel loads qualifying won't be as flat as it used to be. Wakey Joe in P7 with a great start now. For him, Alex Hagel 4 positions as well on the opening lap. Behind the Williams of Operator. Billy G looking round the outside into Stowe, and it's going to be round the outside of that Ferrari. We've seen a Ferrari and an Aston Martin sponsored car. They can make contact into Club and Vale before Vettel, and up the inside goes Preb. Up the inside of Billy G. Saw that out of nowhere, long, deep on the brakes. And a good move pulled off there. Wakey Joe past Silver Fox as well after he's had a poor opening lap. After he's had a poor opening lap on those softs. Wakey Joe to P6. Doran out of a second already out the front. Preb looking to pull back in with the DRS enabled this lap now. Up the inside goes Wakey Joe late on the brakes. Into the loop. Different lines through the corner there. Very obvious to see that one. Preb just starting to fall off the DRS. He has Billy G behind him through Luffield. They all go line astern of each other once again. Doran still leading by over a second. Round the outside, possibly looking for an undercut or a switchback. Is Wakey Joe. He's going to get the switchback on through Woodcote. Dylan had contact on lap 1. That's why he's down in P13. Wakey Joe just coming through. He's got Billy G just ahead of him. He went off. May have picked up a warning. And that was a bold move by the Red Bull through the S's. And it's going to be through Chapel, through Maggots and Beckett's. It is lost for words as they went side by side through there. And they've lost the DRS. Here comes Dom with the straight line speed. On the hards, 3 wide into Stowe. Slight contact and Billy G onto the curb there. McLaren of Silver Fox, and this is great racing. For the opening 3 laps, they're still going side by side through Club and Vale. Billy G just taking it cautious. He's up to P6 again, ahead of Silver Fox. Alex Haig making contact with Smart Operators. There's more contact as he goes slightly wide through the final corner and gets ahead of the Williams. It might have been ahead before he went off the track. Preb still trying to put pressure onto John Mobes as well. I know, okay, hectic opening couple laps. Now seems to calm down a little bit. There's Wakey Joe just behind Dom. The Red Bull versus the Mercedes at Silverstone. We've heard that story before, especially down this next straight, the old pit straight into Copse. Yeah, it's a very known corner. Red Bull in the reverse roll-off behind this time, and we'll see him have a little look. No, he's got the better tyre grip for now, though. We may see a look eventually down into Copse corner. That is with the benefit that has Billy G with a 3-second time penalty already. Very easy to pick up penalties around here, especially through Copse and Stowe. The 2 fast right-hand corners. I'm trying to think where else I'd be able to pick one up, and really the only 2, maybe Maggots and Beckett's as well. No move into Stowe from Wakey Joe there. Billy G still sitting behind with the championship in hand. Silver Fox P7. Billy G with the fastest lap of the race now in P6. Alex Haig even faster with a 30.8. And we're going to see a move here into Village. No, we're not. He's going to look on the outside. He's looking all different angles. He's going to have to become better racecraft. Go for a switchback, which he's looked to have set up. Slightly worse exit for Billy G, however. And it's going to be DRS enabled for the Red Bull and the Wellington straight. And he's going to pull to the inside into Brooklands. And it's going to be side by side. And that is just ahead for Wakey Joe into Luffield. And a good move from him. He's got the Mercedes still behind him. He's going to have him putting pressure on into Stowe. Putting pressure on his Billy G as well. He's going to put pressure on into Stowe as well. And coming through Maggots and Beckett. Lap 4 of the race. It's been a very hectic opening. 5 laps for now. Wakey Joe, and there we go. Dom gets past Wakey Joe again. Down that straight. It looks like they've just got more straight line speed. Then the others in the hards are going to start coming through in the next 7-ish laps, 5 to 7 laps. They'll start to become the better tyre. Silverstone is a bit of a tyre killer. You want to be on the harder tyres in the first stint, in my opinion. We might see Dom pull out with a win tonight. Billy G right on the back, less than 2/10 to that Red Bull. Will he have a dive into Village? No, he's not. He's going to choose the better line through the 2 corners. He's going to pull just ahead, just behind. He's going to lose a bit of time through those 2 corners with the dirty air and the lesser traction. John Mope starting to pull in on Doran for the lead. And it's going to be right on the back. Here's the Red Bull there, practically pushing him through Luffield. And now this is going to be an interesting one. Down the old pit straight they go. Slipstream and ERS. No DRS. And he's going to have a look out. He's not going to have a look. He's going to sit behind again. He's going to get a bit of a better line, a better run. Really have a look into the next 2 corners. He's not going to. Wakey Joe picking up a 3-second penalty though. And that is an important one in this race. Now fighting for position with Billy behind him. And speaking of Billy, he might have a look at Dom. Round the outside goes Wakey Joe. Dom into Stowe. He gets the better line, the sweeping line. He's going to go well wide on the exit. However, he's going to get the better exit, but it's going to open him up to another penalty later in this race. As he picks one up right away there over the curb and goes Dom very easy to launch the car. I've seen a car flip there in one of the F1 games. You don't want to be riding that curb too often. Dom under pressure from Billy G. Billy G seems to have a much better line through the first 3 corners. Just can't seem to hook it up on the exit of loop. And we'll see if he's learnt anything behind these cars that he currently sits behind. It's Wakey Joe looking to defend Alex Haig and Silver Fox fighting. The 2 OWR drivers fighting through there. Smart Operator puts it up the inside now of Silver Fox, and that was a nice move from him as they're still fighting through Woodcut, still fighting towards Cops. It looks like Silver Fox has came out on top in that little squabble for P8, but I'm sure it'll be renewed soon enough once they get to another DRS point or a heavy braking zone. Right on the back, Billy G nearly making contact with the Mercedes there. Now 7/10 behind. Wakey Joe under pressure straight away. Moves being done well before the braking point as Dom steams ahead of the Red Bull and gets back to P4. And you can see the train of drivers. It's a bit of a DRS train forming from P4 all the way down to P10. Dylan Vince doesn't have much of a chance to catch up with the 2 straights being as long as they are, and As much as a power-hungry circuit this track is as well, it's high speed with the slipstream. We'll see Wakey Joe looking for a move, but Dom can't seem to get it straight away. You have to go for the better lines. Try and open the corners up for an attack on the Mercedes. Still trying to pull in on Preb, as Preb and John have pulled in onto Doran. And Mobes on the back of Doran there. 3/10, and that'll be a move done soon enough. Silver Fox going ballsy on his teammate, his OWR teammate, and gets the move done. And that is, you need a bit of some steelies to get that through there, side by side. Very few drivers managed to do it. Leclerc and Hamilton. And Hamilton and Verstappen can be two very opposite examples as they contact Billy G. Making contact with Wakey Joe through Stowe. They just pulled out with the DRS of Silver Fox as he lets him through due to that contact. A bit of gentlemanly move there to let him through due to the contact, and that is, I always like to see a bit of nice play and fair play between the two drivers. John Mobes on the back of door, and now this will be interesting to see if he gets the move done soon. We'll see down the DRS straight if he gets it done. Can he get it done down the DRS straight? And we'll see now. And it looks like he has got it done. And there was an issue with my controller there, trying to plug it back in. John Mobes gets the move done into Luffield and Brooklands, and he gets the move into P1 on lap 8 after catching Doran again. After Doran has an amazing start, John Mobes pulls back in the gap after a couple laps. And it's a Ferrari versus Aston Martin at the front. It's the two that we didn't expect to be at the front coming into this race. It's the two, that sounds wrong, the two championship drivers are not at the front. The two teammates of them are, however. And now into Stowe. This will be an interesting one to see. Down the hanger straight door and having so much straight line speed. Gets the move done well before the braking zone. And Preb doesn't have much of a chance to get a look at Doran or John Mobes himself either. Dom in P4 now. Still got Billy G behind him. Wakey Joe just behind them. Got 1.5 back. Alex Hager second back as well. The softs really starting to die off now, and this is where the split is going to be in the race. So those two back there still fighting Night Creed and Silver Fox, and it's a really close battle between everyone this race. I haven't seen that much all season. Field's been quite spread out, but you always love to see at the final race a bit of action popping up and a bit of racing popping up too. And just looking up and down, not much going on. We're going to take an eye on this lead battle and the battle between Billy G and Dom here. Those two, this is going to be an interesting battle between these two. Billy G looking to further his championship lead ahead of Dom. We'll see now. Through the chicane, through the S's, Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Billy G still looking at the back of that car. John Mobes still looking at the back of the other Aston Martin. One Aston Martin's looking at Mercedes, the other's looking at the other Aston Martin's looking at Clean Air and a possible win as Billy G gets the move done on Dom. Dom with a brilliant move switch back to get it back on him and round the outside into Club and Vale, and it's going to be a long move. It'll switch to the inside for the next two, and that's a lovely move. And into the pits comes Wakey Joe on the softs. He's first to blink. No one follows him. 10 laps gone. There'll be 9 laps gone on those softs as we move into lap 10. Over a quarter distance gone now. Still looking about for a move. As Brass Monkeys is also into the pit lane, picks up a 10-second time penalty, which is unfortunate on those hards. Wakey Joe onto the mediums. That is a bold strategy. Soft to medium, lap 10. And he's got 17 laps to pull on those mediums. Lesser fuel loads. He'll get the advantage early on, but it will come to the other drivers later. It's a bold strategy. It will pay off. And if it pays off, it'll be a win. Pay off. And we'll see if it does in the end. John Mobe still putting pressure on. For now, through Maggots and Beckett, just see them all rushing through. Operator with a 3-second penalty now. He's the first Williams to pick one up. And down the Hanger Straight, 5 cars within about 5 seconds of each other. 3 seconds of each other it'll be. Near enough at the top. John Mobes can't get it done. Billy G does get it done on Dom. Dom has no switchback plans this time to get it round the outside. Will he have a look up the inside of the Aston Martin? No, he's not gonna. He's just gonna pull it in and have a nice little battle eventually down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. The long sweeper left. It's just so long. Feels like it goes on forever before you can get the power down. And it's into a long, long grate again of Luffield. And that is where the end of the next DRS point is. And we'll see if they do get a move going. Can John Mobes get a move going on the other Aston Martin? He's got a big run down the Wellington Straight out of Aintree. The man born not far from Aintree has lost the lead out of Aintree. And Doran is in P2 of the race after the 1 second start. Not 1 second start, the pole position start. Pulling out over a second. Nearly 2 second gap, and it's John Mobes back into the lead in the Ferrari. Looking for his second of the season since Miami. And looking to get a second under his belt and take home P5 in the championship. Ahead of Dom. And ahead of Alex Haig, possibly in P4. Alex Haig in P6, however, currently battling with his OWR teammate. Doran looking to have a move in towards Stowe. We'll see it up the inside if he goes for it. No, he's not. He's going to hold out. Maybe holding out for a pit stop. And we'll see if anyone does dive into the pit lane there. No, they choose not to. The pit lane, although it is long, it's a long, long pit lane. It's negated by the fact that you do have the massive infield cut that you do have. And the turn 1 cut. Alex Haig into the pits, picking up a 10-second time penalty. He's followed by operator in the Williams. And now this lead for the battle for the lead is now stretched to 5 cars. Mobes, Doran, Preb, Billy G and Dom all looking for a bite at the P1 tonight. And out of Aintree, who gets the better run? It looks to be Dom on Billy G. Billy G is going to have to go to the inside. No one going for a move just yet. Wakey Joe, 30.7 fastest lap of the race. Switch back by Dom. Dom through Luffield. Dom gets the move done nicely. Out of Luffield through Woodcut. He's going to have to have his work cut out for him. Inside, and it's going to be the outside for Billy G. Into Copps corner. Into Stowe. Into Copps. My bad, I'm saying all sorts of names here, and he's going to get it round the outside. Here's Billy G through Copps. And a lot of words said there. But the only word that can be said is a brilliant move. And a very bold move at that. For the man who's just moved up to P5. He's moved back down to P5. Just moved up to P4. Moved back down to P5 with Dom's incredible straight line speed that he seems to have everywhere he goes. And it is quite interesting to see that straight line speed. As into the pits comes Silver Fox. Into the pits comes Smoth. Into the pits comes Nightcreed as well. To very early. Lost maybe about 7 or 8 seconds there due to that. As Preb still looking about for a move on Doran. Out of Aintree again. Doran down the Wellington Straight. Doran is looking at John Mobes. Preb's looking at Doran, and Dom is still looking to pull within about 5/10. That is usually the magic number to get an overtake done. As through Copps they go, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Billy G in P5, the last one in this train, currently in position to take home the Division 4 championship in 2025. The 2025 F124 Championship as Doran makes a move up the inside as well into Stowe. It's a nice move into the pits. That's Preb in the McLaren. One McLaren pits one lap, the other pits the next. And it's all moving up and down. There we go, Preb's into the pits. You see how much he cuts, you see how much he gets into the lead. Due to that, and you can just see, and this will be interesting, it's about 20-ish seconds lost in that pit lane. It's a slow pit lane as well at that, about 37 miles an hour, 60 kilometers an hour. We've got the two speeds, 50 mile an hour, 37 mile an hour, and around the outside into Aintree actually. We're going to have a look at Dom. He's going to switch it to the inside this time for Brooklands, sorry. Can he have a look at Doran up the inside? He's going to just get past John Mobes through Brooklands there. Nice move from the Mercedes. He had it done with or without DRS. Anyway, and now with the slipstream, the DRS, and a lot of pace on that Aston Martin in the lead, the hards are starting to come right to him in this race. The softs for Preb. It's a medium soft strategy by the looks of it. 10 laps it'll be. Hard softs it'll be probably for Dom, unless he pits soonish onto the mediums. And I guess we'll see in the next, well, after this next corner through Stowe. John Mobes looking at the back of that Mercedes thinking, I want to see the back of the Aston Martin again. Doesn't seem to get it done. Doran is going to dive into the pits. Dom's going to follow him, both of them into the pit lane. Looks like there was contact between the two as Dom picks up at 10 seconds speed in pit lane penalty, as that could give his chances a huge blow, and that will give his chances a huge blow. And now he's going to have to pull out 10 seconds after the fact that he's pulled it out as Dom jumps him in the pit lane. No, he hasn't. Doran's pulled back out ahead after a bit of a lag there, which you'll love to see. Alex Haig picking up the fastest lap. He's coming through just through turn one now. Doesn't seem to be back on Doran or Dom. Up the inside goes Wakey Joe. On Dom, can't seem to get that move done. Just looking again, this is battle for the lead again. Wakey Joe back into the lead battle after some strong laps. Well, he was out. We'll see. Just coming through. Woodcut now. Wakey Joe is ahead. Well, he's behind. Sorry, ahead is Doran. Dom is behind him. Yellow flags. That looks to be Dylan Vince. It is Dylan Vince. He's going slow down the hanger straight. John Mobes picking up a 10-second penalty. And that is another big accident. Not a big accident, a big mistake in this race. And we've seen a lot of them. We've seen multiple speeding in the pit lanes around here. John Mobes comes in, John Mobes goes out. Billy G comes in, Billy G goes out. Slightly behind the Ferrari which he came in. Line of stern with. Preb takes the lead ahead of Doran. The undercut working for the McLaren there. And an important overtake at that for him. Dom just starting to fall off with those mediums. He'll come right back into it at the very end of the race. He's got 10 seconds to pull along with John Mobes. Billy G with only the 3 seconds. He's got to stay within 7 seconds of Dom and John. Maybe even 4 seconds towards the end of the race. He's got to get past Wakey Joe on those old mediums, however, first. As through Chapel, he comes. Doran is going to race away into the lead straight away ahead of Preb. And he's miles ahead, miles quicker down that straight. Doesn't even need the braking zone to get ahead. He was already ahead before it. And ahead before it is what Dom wants to be, into this braking zone. And he's going to look up the inside, going to pull back in behind the Ferrari. However, he's going to go for the switch back through Luffield. Doesn't seem to have it going for him there. Doran with the fastest lap of the race. For now, going to pick up an extra point towards the end of this race. Dom looking around the outside again, and this is going to be an interesting remaining 9 laps in Silverstone. And up the inside, contact between the two, rubbing his racing, as they say. That could have ended in disaster. 2 of them going round, but they keep it going, keep him pointing straight. Preb, you see a little feint out there from him, and not a feint out from Billy G, who looks it right up the inside. Little switchback attempt by Wakey Joe. He's going to go for a double move on the Aston Martin. He can't seem to get that front grip, understeering slightly through that corner, maybe carrying a bit too much speed to get it done. Alex Haig with another 3-second time penalty now. And interesting, this finish will be 8 laps remaining. It'll be 9 laps remaining, 10 to go in this race, 9.5 to go. Hopefully it's as interesting as the first half of the race we've had. Preb and Doran racing away in the lead for now, as it seems like Dom and Billy G looking for a fake up the inside. Dom covering it off. John Mobes covering off Dom. And this is going to get an interesting battle here. Billy G with the fastest lap of the race now, more or less confirming the championship for him. Just needed 9 points. And it'll be an interesting one for him. If he can, he's going to have to keep it out of other cars for the remaining 9 laps. However, Dom is there, P4, P3, John Mobes. It's going to be Dom looking into Brooklands. He's going to look up the inside of that Ferrari. No, he's going to fake it out. Pushes him slightly wide, and he comes right back across the apex. Does Dom has different lines again through this corner. You see a lot of drivers do take them so differently through the old final corner, Luffield. As he comes through, Billy G is right on the back of Dom, practically pushing him through this middle sector. Dom, Billy G looking for it now, as he's going to look up that inside line into Stowe. He's not going to get it done. Really look around the outside. Dom picking up a 3-second time penalty. Now it's 13 seconds. He goes and gets the move done on the exit, does Billy G. As Dom drops to P5 now. Billy G moving up to P4 as Alex Haig picks up another 10-second time penalty in this race. He might be looking for fastest lap at this point, with the soft tyre about to be put onto that car. The fastest lap currently owned by Billy G in P4. We'll see cars coming through, and it looks like Preb looking up the inside, faked the move, couldn't seem to put off Doran, as he just gets it straight away. Doran, Preb coming through. Maggots, Beckett, and all 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them within a second of each other, all in DRS range of one another. John Mobes looking to get ahead now. This is an important move for the Ferrari. He needs to get it done soon enough. He needs to pull out very soon enough as well. And he's going to look around the outside now. He's going to fake it. Later on the brakes, a lot later on the brakes was Preb there. You just noticed it. The visual gap extended in the braking zone when it usually does contract due to the car's obviously slowing down. It's gonna get a bit closer as you see them all contract and expand on the exits and through the entries. It's like watching Metal as there's yellow flags again. That might be Alex Hagen P12, and it would be Alex Hagen, the Alpine. Not being the best day for him. As through Brooklands and round Luffields, there's slight contact. Wakey Joe picks up a 3-second time penalty now. Dom's tyres are starting to come a bit in now. 5 laps gone on them, as very wide goes John Mobes. He had to lift off. Dom going wide off the track and getting ahead. Dom and Billy G move past John Mobes after a slight mistake through Cop's corner there, and we're going to see Dom race past that that Aston Martin. Now he's practically on the grass up the inside into Stowe, and Billy G and Dom fighting once again. It seems he's gone a bit deep. He's going to have to defend that inside line ahead of that Aston Martin. Seems like he had it more than enough covered though. Going through turn 1, turn 2 and into the heavy braking zone of turn 3. Can see a few dive bombs in there. No one's going for it now in this top 5. 5 of them fighting for the win. All 5 have a chance at the winner. Up the inside goes Preb. He's looking to take it into his own hands. And he's going to go up the inside of the Aston Martin to Doran. Round the outside, it'll turn into Luffield's contact, practically pushing him through. Is Dom on the exit? Seems to give him a bit of a push through Woodcut, and he gets the move right back from Preb. And this is great racing between all 4 of these now. Through Cop's corner they go. 4 of them, 5 of them. All one after another. Dom with so much straight line speed, a lot less downforce compared to these cars. A lot different lines to these cars as well. Looks like Preb has fell off the door in a bit. Dom is right on the back of Preb now. He's looking to take the lead. On track, John is overtaking Billy G, and they're all fighting now. Preb goes slightly wide later on the brakes. John Mobes looking around the outside as well, and he's not going to get it done. Doran slight lock up. Preb slightly wide, however, through the exit. John Mobes looking at it. Billy G looking at it. And these 3 are going to be interesting to watch in the remaining 5 laps of this season. Obviously Preb not looking close enough. Dom is close enough just to have a look at Doran. So that's still Vince picking up a 3-second time penalty there. Doran under pressure from Dom there, looking to pull out the DRS as well. Of those behind Dom with the 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. After it looked like he was practically shoving Doran into the pit lane around here. Very, very wide though. Now that's going to hamper his run into Stowe. He had a chance to get the win into the lead, of this race. Didn't seem to take it there. Billy G just looking and to see, where does John Mobes make a mistake? Where does John Mobes let me have a look? And he'll be using that in the remaining 4 laps to go. As they all cross, 5 of them to line at once. Dom through turn 1, looking right on the back of Doran. Will we see a move into Village? No, he's not. He's going to play tactical, wait for that DRS zone. Just out of entry. And you'll see the detection point. He's already past it. Could go for the move now. He's not going to wait. He's going to go through out of entry. He's got such a good run on the Aston Martin. He's going to pull out and well ahead of the Aston Martin before the braking zone. He pulls back in into Brooklands and takes the lead of the race through Luffield. Those behind, John Mobes and Billy G. I'm just trying to get a helicopter view of all 5 of them at once. Can't seem to get it just yet. We'll just see this amazing shot in the F1 game. All 5 of them at once coming through. Maggots and Beckett's. Doran on the same old tyres. The same amount of age tyres as Dom. He's going to have a lot more speed down that straight. Gets it done well before Stowe is done. He's going to go for the switchback though. Is the Mercedes. He's going to look up the inside into the final corner. Will he go late on the brakes? No, he doesn't. He goes slightly wiggly on the entry due to the force of braking he was doing. Maybe a lock up on the Mercedes. He's going to look up the inside into turn 1. Will he have a look at the Aston Martin? And he's not going to. He's going to pull right back in. Behind Doran, the 2Ds going at it once again in this race. See Doran and Preb, not Doran and Preb, Preb and John coming through Aintree near enough, line of stern as well. Those two fighting a decent amount there. Coming through Maggots and Beckett's as Alex Haig has retired in the pit lane. And our only DNF of the race comes on lap 24. No safety car, but there will be a lot of yellow flags through that first sector, and that is going to be interesting. Will there be an overtake as Doran gets a nice bit of DRS from the Haas of Brass Monkeys? Dom picking up another 3-second time penalty, and that's being the story of his season and his race. His penalties to date, which is unlucky, in the last car getting in the way. It's going to be a bit of a ghosted one. Can affect some drivers braking, which of course you are allowed to stay there if you're a ghost. There's no obligation because you're not blocking anyone in hindsight, but you are, I'm going to say it's more gentlemanly to move over and let them through. Cranking on the lock there was John Mobes. You saw how far left that steering wheel was, and he's going to be under pressure from Billy G now. However, to get that move done, as Dom looking for a move into Brooklands, he's going to go up the inside and dive it on Doran. Doesn't seem to have the move. He's going to go for the switchback through Luffield. Better exit through Luffield, Woodcut, and into Cops. Preb and John fighting for P3 and P4 there. Through Woodcut, gets the inside for John Mobes. Now through Cops corner, he's going to be the outside for Preb. Doesn't seem to get it done, and you see how much closed up Billy G did there. And he's going to have a look into Maggots and Beckett's, possibly no cutting off any angle. Was Billy G on the penultimate lap? He's just looking to get even closer to the front 3, looking for an Aston Martin 1-2 tonight, as Doran just losing the lead on the penultimate lap. There's yellow flags ahead. That could have affected any moves going on there. That could have been disastrous for all of them. John was going to be under a lot of pressure from Preb and a lot of pressure from Billy G. Onto this final lap they go. Dom leads them in to lap 26. And the final lap of the championship. Doran is just chasing behind. He's looking to get the win on track. He has the win in his hands. He just needs to keep it on track. He needs to keep it behind that Mercedes, and he gets it done. But he will be wanting it on track. He will be wanting to cross that line first for his 3rd win on the season. He's going to break the toe. Is Dom down the Wellington straight? Nowhere near close enough is Doran. He's going to have to get a better middle sector to have a chance at it. Preb, not much of a chance. Billy G still looking at Preb to get up to P4. Will be P3 overall when you count all the penalties coming through. And it's going to be Dom through Maggots and Beckett's. Doran's going to have a look at him. Seen plenty of last lap overtakes here with an Aston Martin. GP3 a couple seasons ago. It's Division 4 tonight, which is going to have a bit of excitement onto the final lap. Dom and Doran, it's going to be round the outside. He'll be forced to go, and he's not going to be able to get it done. John Mobes and Preb and Billy G up the inside into Stowe, and he gets the move done and could cap off a championship campaign with a nice move. Preb looking at it as well up the inside. No, he can't get it done. It's going to be Dom to cross the line after 26 laps for the final time. Doran going slow, he's run out of fuel, but he takes the win. Billy G moves up to P2. It's Preb in P2, sorry. Billy G is P3. John Mobes is in P4. Dom comes home in P5. Wakey Joe is P6. P7. Sorry, P5 for Silver Fox. P6 for Dom. P7 Wakey Joe. P8 is Operator. P9 will be Dylan Vince. And it'll be Night Creed in P10. There is the Williams coming round to that final corner now. And the Mercedes. And it's a great season for Aston Martin. We're in real life, they're having a poor F1 season. We're in the WEC, the WEC, they're having a poor season with the Valkyrie. But in the F1 game, it's Billy G and it's Doran taking home the Constructors' Champion. And to go along with it, they've taken home the Drivers' Championship with Billy G coming home to take it. The Scotsman on top in 2025 and the last one of 2024, but it's the Scouser and the Briton in P1. It's the Norwegian in P2 of Silver Fox OWR coming home with a podium with McLaren. And that will be it from Division 4, and that'll be it for Division 4 from the F1 24 game. And that is it from me in Division 4. You won't be seeing me next season. You won't be seeing me in SFR in the new game. And I'd just like to say thank you for watching for one last time. And a great race it was. So from me, for one last time in F1 24 and the last time in SFR, barring any buy-in of the new game, goodbye and thank you for watching Division 4 in